Hello and welcome to another poetry reading with yours truly, Shoebox Poet, Clarence Plank, and I'm reading Shoebox Poet. I figured I was going to do something a little different today. This poem is called Each Day. Each day I feel myself dying whenever I'm away from you. I can feel myself slipping away. The pain begins to grow. But when you are near, it feels worse. Whenever I touch you and hold you in my arms, I can feel myself dying and I can barely withstand the pain. And I find myself wanting to be a part of you. But something stands in our way, something I cannot control, and I keep losing this battle. So here I die without you. And this is always talking about being without somebody. Oh, sorry, long day. Being without somebody or a certain situation. I mean, regardless of whether it's love interest or a family member, just different things that you feel each day. How things tend to just slip away. This next one's called Else. When I look into your eyes, I see another world inside of your heart. I remember how your children laughed, the many times you smiled, and how many times tears fell from your eyes. The dreams that were made on those nights spent in silence. Together feeling the love you needed after all this time. You were there before, only just to begin to realize that you're the right one for someone else. I think I actually read this before. So we're going to jump ahead. This next one's called Falling Heroes. The distant clouds settle on the horizon. The smoke slowly fades from the mist, and the tears begin to fall into the dust. For fallen heroes, the ones who protected the innocent without fear, they rushed into the darkness, saving the nameless faces that gave their lives for their unknown brothers. They made the ultimate sacrifice, and they will be remembered as the true heroes. From the ashes came the patriots, men, women, young and old, without race or color to blind their eyes. America became one again, whole again, and freedom reigned through the land, standing united under God as we remember the fallen heroes. And this was in honor of 9/11, because that was a day everybody just seemed like things just changed in an instant because of all the stuff that happened right before our eyes. When terrorism took hold of us. This next one's called Falling Away. How does it feel to stand by and watch them fall away from everything without giving a reason, without saying goodbye? They step away, slipping away into the darkness, turning their backs on God. They fade away into nothing, deep within the darkness. They lie in their sinful ways, and someone else feels the pain when they fell away from God. Living a life of sin, they left us, feeling so helpless, feeling shameful, feeling the remorse, while we search for another way that God moves them and cuts away the sin, while he crushes their heart, making them want to confess their sins. So we pray for them. Do not lose faith, because someday they will return to God and come back to the light. So this poem was written about people who fall away from God, because I fell away, in a sense, is how they look at it. But it wasn't really a falling away from things. It's when you realize there are things that you see going on and you're like, no, I'm going to go do something else. This next one's called Down. Falling down from hope and losing everything. I watched destiny walk out the door, leaving me, nope, and never looked back. I tried so hard and still failed God and a child. And this goes hand in hand with the other poem. And this, because this Shoebox Poet is basically a little bit more spiritual than all the other ones, because this was where I pulled a lot of the poems from my shoebox to go into this. Two more. This is called Feeling. You're feeling blue. Everything keeps going wrong. That's when you know your heart isn't there anymore. And your world stops turning and the heart is falling. No matter how hard you try, you pick yourself up and shake off the pain. Your soul keeps dying as a reflection of yourself on the outside. That's when your heart isn't not anymore. Because you tend to, when your heart's not into things, you tend to just like go through the emotions on things. You don't really do the things to really keep up with it. So this next one's called February 1st, 2003. On a still and motionless morning, a bitter chill of winter has settled upon the land. The silence is broken by a sound of thunder, which grows into a roar as a comet streaks through the heavens. There, it flashes as it falls apart. The land is covered with burning ruins, haunting images dance in our minds of the past. People were lost, heroes were born, as a ball of fire streaked across the heavens. 7 were lost, they joined the others who touched God's face, the fallen. But God knows their names, just as he scattered the stars and spoke light out of darkness. Breathe life into our souls, for one day we will reach the heavens again. And this poem was basically written about, or I wrote this poem about the Columbia disaster when it crashed to Earth on reentry. I was on my way into, I was at school. Well, wasn't at school, but actually, I saw it earlier in the day on some TV and everything, and then I just reflected on that. This next one's called Flames. There's a flame burning in my head. A flame that keeps turning and burning deep within my skull. I can feel it burn, the cold sensation pouring over my body until I'm nothing at all. I wish I could quench this fire, the fire that blazes within my soul, leaving me like a wasteland. I tried many times to quench the flame, many times to call it quits. Instead of taking a stand, but the flame kept growing, and it started to consume me. There was nothing I can do. I felt so overwhelmed by the madness and the sadness of my failures. It was then I heard you call my name, called me from the darkness, and brought me to the light. And that was basically me trying to overcome a lot of my personal demons with things. Don't deal with them as much as I used to, but it's still there. So next week, hope to see you here again. But I want you to support my friends, the Chronicles of a Bookshop over on Apple and YouTube for the Spine Bookshop, and definitely check out Lindsay Schultz and the Spine Bookshop in Smyrna, Tennessee. Cast It in the Fire podcast by Sherry Aikenhead, Sarah Aikenhead, and Bill Miller, as they delve into other things, talking about Lord of the Rings, Redwall, and Game of Thrones. Hopefully they will be adding some more, podcasts pretty soon. Things, life gets in the way, so hopefully you can do that. Check out my friend Jenna Jinks' portraits and her wonderful artwork, which you can see behind me. That's things that she's done up there. Tracy and her makeup artist, her being a makeup artist, definitely check her out. Aria and Alberta and their Reiki sessions. There's links in the bios in this. My friend Dwight Kirk and his Solo Dolo Sports on YouTube and Facebook. Definitely check it out. And check me out over on all over social media in here. And please buy my books. And my new book, A Hand of Poetry, came out in November. It was nominated for Indie Book of the Year 2024. So definitely check out this book. It's wonderful details about it. So I hope to see you again. Take care. Have a good night.